So we just got some new fixes for Hogwarts Legacy, and the first update also just went live for the PlayStation 5. There are a few more changes listed to talk about on top of the ones that we got a few days back, and also some news from Avalanche on the state of future DLCs. So if you enjoyed this video, a like would definitely help a ton, and let's get started with the new PS5 update. Because the patch actually includes some new changes on top of the ones that we got on the PC version, one of which includes the Collector's Edition trophy not updating correctly. This will retroactively unlock and display all trophies earned by the player in case you had any problems with that. They were previously bugged and would not properly track items from the collections menu either, so this was also an issue that was fixed in this new patch. Also, the two major bugs that affected all platforms in terms of progression are now also live on the PS5, including the bug preventing players from talking to various vendors in Hogsmeade. If you ever got stuck after reloading a file after a conversation and could not get the vendor screen or dialogue to pop up to progress a certain mission, now it should work as intended. Similarly to the PC version, as soon as I logged into the new update on the PS5, I also got a few more missing owl post pop-ups that I did not even know I was missing. On this playthrough, I'm sitting at 100% completion on all of the side quests in the game, yet there was one more prompt that I got at the end of it. I already talked about missing 31 out of 32 quests yesterday that might prevent some of you from finishing that specific challenge, and I talked about well side quests being just one of them that you find right here near Arranshire, but there's actually a couple more that I did not discuss. So if you did not miss this one, there's a couple of more, including the two treasure maps that you find in the coastal region, with the first one being right here in this enemy castle, also missable unless you're literally right next to it. This would bring you to Henrietta's hideaway right here on this side of the map, inside of which you would find a second map for a different side quest nearby that would also require completing a puzzle. I actually covered both of these quests in my missable items guide that I covered a few days back, so check that one out if you want to see it more extensively, including how to solve them quickly. And no, before you ask, the PS5 exclusive quest that you find in Hogsmeade does not count towards this challenge. As you can see from this footage, I'm playing on the PC, still have completed all the 32 side quests for the challenge, but none of them included the PS5 exclusive mission because it's not available on that platform. So just like I suggested before, try to compare your list of finished quests with the ones that you find online, and hopefully this is going to bring you to the one that you're still missing. There's quite a few of them that if you leave out in the open, you're not going to see them on the map, or if you left them unfinished and not talk to the NPC before finishing them, you're not going to see them popping up on the map either. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but that's the only way of doing it. Meanwhile, let's talk about performance, and fidelity mode has also seen an improvement on the PS5 update. From what I was able to tell, it's not that you're getting higher frame rates than the usual 30 with this mode, it's just that the gameplay is more stable and less likely to have frame drops, especially in the more resource intensive areas such as Hogsmeade or the castle one. I also try to go with the uncapped frames in fidelity mode to see if it is worth it to have it on the PS5, and while it is slightly improved compared to the previous versions, I would still keep it on as it tends to introduce unnecessary extra stuttering for no additional benefits. Plus, there are a few other videos out there that I've seen. It shows that the difference it makes is very minimal, just a few frame rates on top when it comes to fidelity mode, so not worth it for the issues that it brings. There's a few more changes on all the platforms coming, including a fix to clean up autosaves properly when closing your game, and they corrected a crash when the save system was writing data. A similar fix for rebuilding the save game list when manually deleting them was also implemented on the Steam and the Epic Games versions as well. But here comes a bit of a bummer in terms of DLC news, and during IGN's FanFest a week or so back, it was confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy doesn't have any planned DLCs as of yet. The game's director for Hogwarts Legacy, Elden, explained to IGN that at the time of the launch, which was just last week, the team was so busy with the preparations for the game's release that they did not have any extra plans for any future expansions. The silver lining here is that this was true during the launch day and before anyone knew that the game would have this massive success, so I think there's a strong chance that they might have reconsidered that idea since then. Sure, that means it will be a while until we get to see any new content added in the game since nothing has started being worked upon just yet, but it's undeniable that the game's success would warrant a revisit of that plan. Like, this is one of the most successful launches in the past few years, even managing to beat Elden Ring's massive opening week across Europe by 56% and managing to become the biggest launch outside FIFA and Call of Duty since Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018. Which to me is insane. I spoke to some of the people in the team during my hands-on time in London, and this kind of outcome was on nobody's mind at that time. Like, most people were just expecting for the game to hopefully like just launch in a good state and be appreciated, but this was like something that blew everybody out of the water. I can only imagine how the devs reacted to the news that the game started breaking records, as it was getting so close to almost 1 million peak players on Steam alone. And this is for a game that's been massively pushed towards PS5 with all of the exclusive rewards and the extra mission. I think it's totally possible for Hogwarts Legacy to get an expansion maybe 1 or 2 years down the line, given all of this, similarly to how Elden Ring also had no DLC plans at first, but now it's supposed to get one this very year. That, or maybe smaller DLCs that incrementally add new types of content, or maybe ways to revisit the ones that we already completed. Like, for example, I can't be the only one that misses not being able to replay some of the Summoner Court matches or maybe even the duels back at the Hogwarts Castle. This is something that I really enjoyed, especially the Summoner's Court. I got really good at it towards the end of it, so it was such a bummer that it ended up being so anticlimactic when I finished it. For example, in the case of Elden Ring, later last year they added a brand new arena mode in which you can go in and fight other people as well as other enemies, which was kind of cut from the game but not really, so I kind of wonder, can something like this be done with a Quidditch, since we do have the pitch and there's also a couple more locations in the game that do feature mini games long abandoned. Do let me know down below what you think of this, but I'm mostly looking beyond DLCs, and I think that the success of the first game could open up more ambitious projects in a possible sequel. Despite the fact that I do love what we currently have in this version of Hogwarts Legacy, I kinda wished a few things and systems were a bit more deeper in a possible second release. Like, for example, decisions having more impact on characters' lives instead of just being more surface level. Something that I also expressed in my initial review is something that I would love to see. Between having the dialogues that lead to the same outcome anyway, I would love to see something with a deeper impact, maybe something that would affect other quest lines as well. Also, I would have loved more complex loot systems in this game with more unique perks on gear rather than simple stats that you upgrade every few levels. And also quite a few missed opportunities back at the school that could have made its exploration a lot more interesting. I mean, yes, it's awesome the first time you visit it, but outside of that, you're not going to have too many incentives besides just completing a few puzzles for some extra loot. But yeah, let me know down below what's your stance on this. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.